the terrifying freedom of not needing to survive anymore. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred pause Black women have been waiting for. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the honor of sitting down with Tomeka Rose, a Black single mother of three who survived abusive relationships, colon cancer, and years of carrying everyone else's weight while losing sight of her own. She's down to her final 10 credits for her degree in social work, and she's turning survival into purpose. Her story is a mirror for so many of us, a reminder that our pain can become preparation, and that rest is not failure. She's making the world a better place by refusing to let exhaustion be the end of her story, by offering other Black single mothers a language for naming their pain without shame, and by modeling what it looks like to reclaim your life after years of carrying everyone else's. So let me ask you something. What happens when survival mode ends and you're still standing? Because here's the thing nobody tells you. The hardest part isn't always the crisis, it's the quiet that comes after. It's waking up one day and realizing the emergency is over and you have no idea who you are without it. You spent years running, years holding it together, years being the strong one, the dependable one, the one who never breaks. And then one day, the kids are older, the bills are paid, the cancer is in remission, the abusive partner is gone, and you're sitting in your car alone crying because you finally have space to breathe. And breathing feels terrifying. That's where Tomeka Rose found herself. After years of raising three children, surviving toxic relationships, and enduring colon cancer, she hit a standstill. Not a breakdown, not a failure, a standstill, and she didn't know what to do with it. Because survival mode doesn't come with an exit strategy, it stops. And when it stops, you're left standing in the wreckage, wondering if you're stuck or if you're finally free. Tomeka described it like this: she would cry alone in the car, hiding her pain from her children and carrying the weight of everyone else's needs while losing sight of herself. She was exhausted, isolated, disoriented, and she didn't have the language to name what she was feeling without shame. So let me give you the language. You are not stuck, you are in transition. And transition, my love, is not failure, it's preparation. Let's talk about survival mode for a second because we treat it like a badge of honor. We say things like, I've been through hell and back. We wear our exhaustion like proof of strength. And don't get me wrong, survival is strength, but survival is not supposed to be your identity. Survival mode is a season, it's not a lifestyle. And when that season ends, you don't get a manual, you don't get a parade, you get silence. And silence after years of noise can feel like abandonment. Tamika spent years in crisis, father, absence, toxic relationships, cancer, emotional isolation. And when the crisis finally quieted down, she didn't feel relief. She felt lost. Because here's what survival mode does: it teaches you to move fast, to react, to carry, to fix, to endure. It does not teach you to rest. It does not teach you to dream. It does not teach you to ask, what do I want? So when survival mode ends, you're left with a question you haven't asked yourself in years. Now what? And that question can feel heavier than the crisis itself. But here's the truth: that pause, that standstill, that disorienting quiet is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your healing. Tomeka reframed her standstill as a chance to breathe. She reconnected with her education. She chose to finish what she started. She's down to her final 10 credits for her degree. And she treats it as a declaration of reclaimed power. And that's the shift from survival to purpose, from carrying everyone else to finally carrying yourself. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, but I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to heal. I still have responsibilities. and I hear you. But let me ask you this: how long are you going to treat exhaustion as proof of strength? Because exhaustion is not strength, exhaustion is a signal. It's your body, your mind, your spirit saying, I need you to stop. I need you to pause. I need you to choose yourself. And choosing yourself is not selfish, it's sacred. Let me tell you about another woman who chose herself. Her name is Tomeka Pryor. She earned both a Master of Social Work and a Bachelor of Arts in Social Work from the University of South Carolina. Her educational path supports the message that education can become a pathway out of survival mode and into service. She completed formal social work training, which aligns with the theme of turning lived experience into professional calling. Her accomplishments signal persistence and professional preparation. She didn't just survive, she studied, she prepared, she turned her pain into a profession. And then there's Tim's, the Nigerian artist who rose from a promising talent to a global star over 8 years. She won 2 Grammys, performed at major venues, and launched a mentorship initiative for young African women in music. Her story illustrates that once a woman steps out of survival and into confidence, she can also create space for others to breathe and rise. She didn't just make it, she made room. She built her career step by step, expanded her reach through major collaborations, and invested in mentorship for others. She transformed personal momentum into broader leadership and support for younger women. Both of these women moved from pressure into purpose. Both of them turned survival into leadership. Both of them refused to let exhaustion be the end of their story. And so can you. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. Your pain can become preparation. What you have survived, motherhood, illness, heartbreak, loneliness, can deepen your empathy and strengthen your calling instead of disqualifying you from it. Tomeka's lived experience is not a liability, it's her superpower. She knows what it feels like to cry alone in the car. She knows what it feels like to carry everyone else's needs while losing sight of her own. She knows what it feels like to survive cancer and toxic relationships and father absence. And that knowledge, that pain, that survival is preparation for the work she's about to do in social work because the people she's going to serve need someone who's been there. They need someone who understands. They need someone who won't judge them for being exhausted. They need someone who will say, you are not stuck, you are in transition, and that's you. That's your calling, that's your purpose. But you can't step into your purpose if you're still stuck in survival mode. So let me ask you again, how are you learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival? Because softness is not weakness. Softness is a radical act of self love. Softness is saying no without guilt. Softness is setting boundaries without apology. Softness is resting without an explanation. Softness is choosing yourself without shame. And I know that sounds simple, but for those of us who have spent years being the strong one, softness feels dangerous. It feels irresponsible. It feels selfish, but it's not. Softness is survival's next chapter. It's what comes after the crisis, it's what comes after the standstill. It's what comes when you finally give yourself permission to breathe. And breathing, my love, is not failure. Breathing is freedom. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one concrete step toward the thing you have been postponing, whether that's finishing school, setting a boundary, getting help, or simply resting without guilt. One step, that's it. Because survival is not the end of your story. Just because you have been carrying everyone else does not mean you are meant to stay stuck in that role forever. Rest is not failure. When survival mode ends, it can feel scary and unfamiliar, but that pause can be the beginning of healing, clarity, and purpose. Your pain can become preparation. What you have survived can deepen your empathy and strengthen your calling instead of disqualifying you from it. Tomeka Rose is proof of that. She moved from survival mode toward purpose, recognizing that her lived experience is a valuable preparation for social work. She offers Black single mothers a language for naming exhaustion without shame and a model for turning survival into purpose. And that's what Soft Girl Era is all about. It's the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. So I want you to stop treating exhaustion as proof of strength and start treating it as a signal to pause, breathe, and reclaim your own life. I want you to stop calling yourself stuck when you are really in a season of transition. I want you to feel seen in your pain without having to perform strength. I want you to feel relieved to know you are not alone in survival mode exhaustion. I want you to feel hopeful that your current standstill is not the end. And I want you to feel empowered to believe you can still claim purpose even after years of carrying everyone else. Because your history isn't a story of defeat. It is proof that when you trust God through the fire, you realize you are never alone. Survival is not your end point, and you can finally step into your purpose and breathe. So here's my challenge to you: stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you've done enough, survived enough, carried enough. You have. Now it's time to live, not just survive, live. Take that class, set that boundary, say that no, rest without apology, dream without guilt, choose yourself without shame. Because the world doesn't need another exhausted Black woman carrying everyone else's weight. The world needs you, whole, rested, soft, and free. And when you finally step into that freedom, you won't just change your life, you'll change the lives of everyone watching you. Your children, your friends, your community. They'll see you breathe and they'll remember that they can too. So breathe, sis. Breathe deeply, breathe unapologetically, breathe freely. Your soft girl era isn't waiting, it's here right now, and it's calling your name.